Hello everyone, Jude Kessel here. We're going to do a quick Google Docs tutorial. So in your lesson you've been asked to create a Gmail account. Hopefully most of you have had a Gmail account. If not, then there's some new things that always surprise people. So I'm going to keep this very short and sweet. So if you have created a Gmail account, you will see something like this. This we call the little waffle. So there are a couple of ways that you can get to Google Docs. I'm going to show you. So if you click on the waffle, then you'll see this little pull-down menu of choices, and you can get to your Google Drive that way. You'll also see this little icon over here, which shows you the apps, and if you click on that, it will also give some choices of getting to Google Drive, or you may type in drive.google.com and it will take you to your Google Drive folder. So that's if you're looking at the Google Drive. Now we're going to be specifically talking about Google Docs. So it is possible that when you come in and look at your icon that you're going to see just the blue icon for Docs. So if you click on Docs, you're going to see only your documents, not your entire Google Drive. And it will show you right up top some templates, and then you want to create a blank Google document. It will give you some choices here. Pretty much everything is the same that you see in a Word document. You first want to rename your document to test doc or whatever you like. And you get the same functions you do pretty much with Word. So we'll get to share in a little bit. You can open a new document or presentation or spreadsheet or form. You can open, make copies, move to a folder, trash something. We'll get into revision history. That may be a separate tutorial. One of the cool things is when a lot of people transfer from Google Docs from Word to Google Docs, they're all worried about, well, what if I need Microsoft Word? So if you create something in a Google Doc, you can always download it as Word. The formatting does change a wee bit, but not significantly. And then you can download it as a PDF. You can publish documents to the web. If you have a website, you may want to be able to use that. You can send email to people that you can collaborate with, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. Email as an attachment, just like your normal. Your page setups are where we switch from a portrait to a landscape. You can choose the page size. You can choose the page color if you want to match the background of your page to a particular theme. You can change the default, so if you are working on a paper that has some specific requirements, you can set that up as a default. So that's pretty much under your file menu, and your print menu gives you the same typical options as you have in any other print menu. You can change your printer, you can change it to a PDF. If you are enabled with AirPrint, you can do all of that. You can tell it copies, colors, and there's more settings if you wish. Open in PDF preview, you get all those particular kinds of options under print. Edit, you've got the undo, redo, copy, paste, all of those functions. Find and replace. I like to use find and replace a lot. Find a term and replace it with something when I'm changing like a syllabus from 1929 to 2016, it's easy to find and replace. We also get the view. So you can view all kinds of things. One thing that a lot of people are not familiar with is the equation toolbar. This is very helpful if you're a math teacher. So you can get a new equation and type in various kinds of things. It's not you get some little menus here. It's not perfect, but it is a helpful thing. So you can do that under view. And if you want to close this, just the little X over here gets rid of that. You can change the modes. You can compact your controls, which simply means you get some of the toolbars to disappear. And then if you want them back again, there's the little arrow on the right-hand side. So I am going to get out of the tool editor and click that and get to dirt. Then you can insert images. So Google is a little bit interesting. You can upload from your hard drive. You can take a snapshot. So if your laptop or desktop computer has a camera built in, it will allow you to take a snapshot, or you can put in a URL, or if you have albums, or if you have something from your Google Drive. So I'm a certified Google trainer, so we can insert that. Once you're in the image, you have a bunch of options, and if you double click on the image, you can crop it, you can change it, you can get all kinds of image options. What I did was right click on that to get them. You can change the transparency, all kinds of things. I don't think you'll need to mess around with too much of that while you're in this particular course. You can also insert links. So if you have a link to something, another website that you're interested in, you insert link and it brings up this little website. So if I want to link to jason.org, for example, now when I'm done and I click on the link, it brings up the option to do that. Google also has a drawing tool. It's a little bit different. It's not quite as refined as what you might find in Word, but it is there. And you can insert various shapes. And once you do that, for example, we can do the coloring, and then we can change the color background and save and close it, and it inserts it. And I did that right in the middle of a location, so I can put this here and then insert drawing and do it again, but we'll skip on, move on. Time is moving on. There's also footnotes. Tables is new. Tables was not as robust in Google Docs as it was in Word, but they've recently changed that. So you can pretty much include anything you want in a table, and you also have the ability in Table to merge. So merge cells, which wasn't a possibility even about a year and a half ago. And so you can, merge cells however your little heart desires, and just have kind of fun with that, whatever little thing you might have in mind. And then you can insert rows above. You can insert all kinds of things with tables and give table properties. Add-ons, I'm not going to spend a lot of time with add-ons right now, but you can get voice-to-text add-ons. It's like going to the Chrome store if you're familiar with extensions. Speech recognition is new, but we'll get into some of the other things here in a minute. So another thing that is available under Insert is equations, drawing, special characters, and then when we get to format, you've got your typical bold like you would in Microsoft Word, formatting, clearing formatting, and then we have tools. And so spelling, I'm sure you're familiar with, and this is my last name, and it typically shows up as incorrect, but I've added it to my other document. The research tool is nice in the fact that it brings up a window on the right, so you're not tabbing back and forth between tabs. This would be a whole tutorial in itself, but one of the cool things that's available here, if I'm doing research on something, let's go back to doing something like, instead of my last name, like Lincoln. If I could type today. And I can drag this in, and what it will do is automatically cite. So the citation is there at the bottom. So that's a very, very cool thing. Once it's open, the research window, you'll see that there's a little X over here on the side, which is not in your camera view at the moment. There it is. It will open every time you open a new doc. The research tool opens. So you do have to close it to get rid of it. Otherwise, it opens up every time. Word count, if you need it. Voice typing is rather new. But it's kind of a nice tool for kids who may have issues with small motor control. But it really does work pretty well, period. New line. 7 years ago, our forefathers. And then you click it to stop it. So that's under tools. So if you're not very fast at typing, this may be an option. You can also translate the document. to all kinds of language. It will actually create a new document. So if we wanted to translate this to Filipino for some reason, it actually creates a whole brand new entire document, and this little icon up here tells you that it has been translated. All right, so we'll get out of that and get back to our original document. There we go. And the other things, you have add-ons, so we'll get into that. There's also help things. Same tools are down here. So you have your print, undo, redo. If you choose to get a format from another website, you can zoom in and out. There's a couple of ways to do that. Texting, putting in headers, changing the font. I will warn you, if you use this with students, if you go all the way down here, under more fonts, there's a total of 600 fonts. You may not want to go there. You've got your bold, your underline, your text color. You've got the insert comments. Inserting comments is in a couple of places. You can do insert comment here, or you can do insert comment here. Either way, it lets you leave a comment on a student paper or someone else's paper, and then when they sign in to this shared document, they will see that comment. They can either edit it and accept it or resolve it. We'll get into the editing things. Your alignments are the same. Your spacing is the same. You can number bulleted lists, increase the dent, clear formatting. This is one of my favorite tools when I copy stuff from another page that I want to match the formatting of my site, and it's a very handy tool. Editing is something, what I meant to say is editing allows you to change their document. If they put in suggesting, then anything they do over here starts to show up in a different format, and you can either accept or reject whatever the person is suggesting. And then viewing, you can set a document to be viewed only. The important thing for you for this class is the sharing. So underneath sharing, the automatic default is that the document is private, and you can set that so a person can edit. And for the purposes of our assignments in this course, I would like you to make sure I'm able to edit your documents. You can also set it to only comment or only can view, and then you would put in someone's email address, and if it auto completes, I'm actually sharing it with myself here. You can add a note. There's also this advanced button, and again, the default is private, but I can come in and change it. Now, if you're in a school domain, you're going to see more options here, but I can set it to be public on the web, anybody with the link, or only specific people. And anybody with the link, again, I get the choices of they can only view it, comment, or can edit. So most often for you, you would do specific people and then save that, and then put my email address in here so that I am able to view and edit your document. And it's all of those kinds of things. So it's there, it's handy. This is a very, very quick overview, but sometimes the other piece you want is, where is my document? So if I'm in my drive, you can see I have several folders over here. And if you create something in a folder, then it stays in that particular folder. You also have this view, which is like folders to documents. So the documents that I was creating should have ended up in here, but I didn't put them in a folder, so it's probably not in here. Let's see. So I've got that document, all of those kinds of things. So in a nutshell, that is Google Docs. And if you have any questions or anything seems to be unclear, please email me.